Satisfieth thy mouth with good things. Every single night you disappear, not temporarily. Completely your conscious mind, the part of you reading this right now, the part that makes decisions, solves problems, satisfieth thy mouth with good things, worries about the future. It shuts down, goes something else takes over. Something that has been running in the background your entire life, quietly, invisibly, without your permission or your awareness. Satisfieth thy mouth with good things. Your subconscious mind, and while you lie there completely unconscious, your subconscious is doing something extraordinary. It is sorting through every single experience you had today. Satisfieth thy mouth with good things. Every conversation, every moment of fear, every moment of joy. It is deciding what to keep and what to throw away, what to file into long-term memory and what to delete. Satisfieth thy mouth with good things. What problems to quietly solve while you have no idea it is even working. Every single night. And here is the part that should make you stop everything right now and pay close attention. Satisfieth thy mouth with good things. The way your subconscious processes the night, what it does with your memories, your emotions, your unresolved fears, and your unreached goals, directly determines the person you wake up as the next morning. Your confidence. Satisfieth thy mouth with good things. Your emotional resilience, your ability to learn, your relationships, your mental health, all of it, shaped by what your subconscious mind is doing in the hours you are completely unaware of. Satisfieth thy mouth with good things. And most people have absolutely no idea this is happening. Today I am going to show you exactly what your subconscious mind does while you sleep, backed by the latest neuroscience research. Satisfieth thy mouth with good things. And then I am going to show you 5 specific things you can do before bed tonight that will work with your subconscious, not against it, to completely change who you wake up as tomorrow. Stay until the very end. Satisfieth thy mouth with good things is the one practice that neuroscientists say is the single most powerful way to reprogram your subconscious mind, and almost nobody is doing it. Let's get into it. Satisfieth thy mouth with good sleep. You need to understand something fundamental about how your mind actually works, because most people think of their mind as one thing. One unified consciousness making decisions. Satisfieth thy mouth with good things, feeling a crunch in life. But neuroscience tells us something very different. You actually have 2 minds operating simultaneously, and they could not be more different from each other. Your conscious mind. The first is the part you identify with. The voice in your head, the part that is reading these words right now, making decisions, planning your day, having conversations. It is logical, rational, satisfieth thy mouth with good things, and sequential, that most people find deeply uncomfortable. It is responsible for only about 5% of your mental activity, 5%. The other 95%, the vast, visible, enormously powerful majority of everything your mind does, is handled by your subconscious mind. Satisfieth thy mouth with good things. Dr. Bruce Lipton, a cell biologist at Stanford University, between the conscious and subconscious mind, and what he found was staggering. Satisfieth thy mouth with good things. Your subconscious mind processes approximately 40 million bits of information per second. Your conscious mind processes about 40 bits per second. Let that ratio sink in, 0.40 million versus 40. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Your subconscious is operating at 1,000,000 times the processing power of your conscious awareness. It controls your breathing, your heartbeat, your immune system, your automatic behaviors, your emotional reactions. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Your deeply held beliefs about yourself and the world, all running silently, constantly, without your conscious involvement. And here is why this matters so much for what we are talking about today. While you are awake, your conscious mind acts as a filter, a gatekeeper. It evaluates questions and often overrides what the subconscious wants to do. But when you fall asleep, that gatekeeper goes offline. Subconscious mind, no longer filtered, no longer suppressed, goes to work, fully, freely, powerfully. What happens in those hours is not just rest. It is nothing less than the nightly reconstruction of who you are. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. The first extraordinary thing your subconscious does while you sleep is memory consolidation. And understanding this will completely change how you think about learning and skill development. Here is what happens. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. During the day, everything you experience gets temporarily stored in a region of your brain called the hippocampus, a RAM drive for your experiences, but temporary storage has a limit. Everything in temporary storage is vulnerable. It can be lost, corrupted, overwritten. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Your subconscious mind runs a process of moving experiences from that temporary storage into long-term memory. Satisfy thy mouth with good things, particularly during specific stages of sleep and during REM sleep, by replaying neural patterns from the day and embedding them more deeply into your brain's permanent architecture. This is why, and this is one of the most important things I will say today, sleeping after learning something is not rest. It is the actual learning. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. A landmark study from Harvard Medical School tested two groups of students learning the same motor skill, a sequence of finger movements. Group 1 practiced and then slept. Group 2 practiced and stayed awake. Satisfy thy mouth with good things after sleep. Group 1 improved by 20%. Just from sleeping. Group 2 improved by almost nothing. The practice was the same. The only variable was sleep. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. And sleep produced a 20% improvement that wakefulness did not. Your subconscious was doing the learning while they slept. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Matthew Walker, neuroscientist at UC Berkeley and author of Why We Sleep, calls sleep the greatest legal performance-enhancing drug that most people are chronically not taking enough of. Every skill you are trying to build. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Every subject you are trying to master. Every language you are trying to learn. Every sport you are trying to improve at. Your subconscious is doing a significant portion of that work at night, while you sleep. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. The practical implication of this is profound. If you are a student, studying right before you sleep and then sleeping immediately is dramatically more effective than studying the same material in the middle of the day. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. If you are learning a skill, practicing deliberately right before bed and then sleeping on it will produce faster gains than any other schedule. Do not rob yourself of this. Do not pull all-nighters. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Do not sacrifice sleep in the name of productivity. Every hour of sleep you sacrifice is an hour. Your subconscious cannot do the learning it was designed to do. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. The second extraordinary thing your subconscious does while you sleep is perhaps the most important for your mental health. It processes your emotions. Here is the neuroscience. REM sleep, the stage of sleep where you dream. Something remarkable happens in your brain chemistry. The levels of norepinephrine, a stress chemical associated with anxiety and emotional reactivity, drop to almost zero. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. This is the only time in your entire existence when this stress chemical is completely absent from your brain. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. And it is during this exact chemical wind plays emotionally significant experiences from your day, from your week, sometimes from your life. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. But because the stress chemical is absent, your subconscious can replay these experiences without the full emotional charge they carried when they happened. It is processing the experience, keeping the memory. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Keeping the lesson, but stripping away the raw emotional pain. Matthew Walker describes REM sleep as emotional first aid. Your subconscious is literally overnight therapy. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Healing emotional wounds while you are completely terrible day, after something that felt completely overwhelming. You often wake up the next morning and it does not feel quite as bad. You satisfy thy mouth with good things, but you have processed it emotionally while you slept. And this is why chronic sleep deprivation is so devastating for mental health. When you do not sleep enough, you do not get enough REM sleep. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. You carry yesterday's unprocessed emotions into today, and today's into tomorrow, until the weight of accumulated unprocessed emotion becomes what we recognize as anxiety, depression. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. A 2007 study from Harvard Medical School found that sleep-deprived people showed 60% more emotional reactivity to negative stimuli than people who slept properly. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. 60% more reactive to negative things, because their subconscious never had the chance to process and neutralize them. Your mental health is not just about what happens to you during the day. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. It is profoundly, measurably, determined by what your subconscious is doing with those experiences at night. Discovery number 3, and this one genuinely amazes me every time I think about it. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Your subconscious mind solves problems while you sleep, not metaphorically. Literally, some of the greatest discoveries, inventions, and creative breakthroughs in human history happened during sleep. And for most of history, people wrote them off as coincidence or inspiration. Now we know exactly what was happening. The subconscious was working. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Otto Loewi, the neuroscientist who won the Nobel Prize for discovering how nerve impulses are transmitted, woke up in the middle of the night with the complete experimental design for his discovery fully formed in his mind, struggling with the problem for years. His subconscious solved it while he slept. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. The chemist who created the periodic table of elements saw the complete arrangement of all 63 known elements in a dream. He woke up, wrote it down immediately, and found only one small correction needed. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Paul McCartney woke up complete melody of yesterday, one of the most recorded songs in history, fully formed in his head. He had heard it in a dream. These are not mystical coincidences. Satisfy thy mouth with good night, making connections between ideas, patterns, and memories that your conscious mind, too linear, too focused, too busy, cannot make while you are awake. Scientists call this remote associative thinking. The ability to connect distantly related concepts into novel solutions. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. And research has shown that this ability is dramatically enhanced sleep, particularly during REM sleep when the brain in a more diffuse associative mode rather than the focused linear mode of wakefulness. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. A 2004 study published in the journal Nature found that people who slept between learning a mathematical problem and attempting to solve it were 3 times more likely to discover a hidden shortcut than people who stayed awake. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. 3 times more likely, just from sleeping. This is why the advice, sleep on it. It is neuroscience. Your subconscious is a problem-solving engine of extraordinary power. Satisfy thy mouth with good things, and it does its best work when your conscious mind finally gets out of the way and lets it run. Discovery number 4, and this is where things get really interesting. Subconscious mind does not just process experiences and solve problems during sleep. It is also deeply impressionable in the period just before you fall asleep. Satisfy thy mouth with good things, and whatever you feed it in those final moments before you lose consciousness, it takes directly in. No filter, no critical evaluation, straight into the subconscious programming that runs 95% of your behavior. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Here is the neuroscience behind this. As you transition from wakefulness to sleep, your brain passes through a state called the hypnagogic state. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. A twilight zone between consciousness and unconsciousness where your brain waves shift from the alert beta waves of waking life into the slower alpha and then theta waves of the pre-sleep state. Satisfy thy mouth with good state. Your critical conscious mind begins to dissolve. Your defenses come down. Satisfy thy mouth with good things, and your subconscious becomes extraordinarily receptive to suggestion, far more receptive than at any other point during the day. This is actually how hypnosis works. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. A hypnotist guides you into this exact brainwave state and then delivers suggestions directly to your subconscious while your critical mind is bypassed. But here is what most people do not realize. Enter the hypnagogic state every single night, naturally, without a hypnotist, without any special technique. Satisfy thy mouth with good things, and whatever you are thinking about, whatever you are feeling, whatever content you are consuming, in those final 15 to 20 minutes before you fall asleep, go straight into your subconscious program. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Think about what most people do in those final moments before sleep. They scroll social media, they watch anxiety-inducing news, they replay arguments and worries and problems from the day. They consume content full of conflicts. Satisfy thy mouth with good things, and all of that, unfiltered, goes straight into the subconscious, getting reinforced, getting programmed, night after night after night. Satisfy. Is it any wonder that so many people wake up feeling anxious before the day has even begun? Satisfy thy mouth with good things. They have been literally programming their subconscious with anxiety for years, in the most receptive window of the entire day. and had no idea. The reverse is equally true. If you intentionally feed your subconscious positive, satisfy thy mouth with good things, empowering, growth-oriented content in those final moments, that gets programmed too. Your subconscious cannot tell the difference between what you experienced and what you vividly imagined. Satisfy thy mouth with good things, between what happened and what you deeply felt while thinking about it. Use it. Discovery number 5. And this one will change how you think about your most creative moments. Satisfy thy mouth with collaborator. And it does its best creative work while you sleep. Now you might be thinking, I am not particularly creative. This does not apply to me. Creativity is not just about art and music and writing. Creativity is problem solving. Creativity is connecting ideas in new ways. Creativity is finding the unexpected solution that nobody else has thought of. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. And that, according to neuroscience, is something your sleeping subconscious is extraordinarily good at. Here is why, during wakefulness, particularly during focused, concentrated work, your brain operates with high levels of norepinephrine and acetylcholine. This creates focused, narrow, linear thinking. Excellent for executing known solutions. Not excellent for discovering new ones. Previously we discussed. Norepinephrine drops to 0, and your brain shifts into a mode of broad, associative, non-linear thinking. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Connections are made between concepts that your focused, conscious mind would never put together. Salvador Dali deliberately exploited this. To satisfy thy mouth with good things, he would sit in a chair, allow himself to drift to the edge of sleep. The moment he fell asleep, the key would drop, clang on the plate. Satisfy thy mouth with good things and wake him up, just as he was entering the hypnagogic state. He would then immediately capture the bizarre creative imagery he had been experiencing. Thomas Edison did the same thing with ball bearings. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Both men intuitively understood what neuroscience has now confirmed. The border between waking and sleeping is the most creative state human mind can enter, and every single night you pass through that state twice. Satisfy thy mouth with good things, once as you fall asleep. Those liminal moments are not wasted time. They are portals to your most creative thinking. Start paying attention to what comes to you in those moments. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Keep a notebook beside your bed, because the idea that arrives at the edge of sleep may be the most valuable thing your mind produces all day. Okay, satisfy thy mouth with good things. Now that you understand what your subconscious is doing, let me give you 5 specific practices that will work with it instead of against it. Starting tonight, satisfy thy mouth with good things. Practice 1, write down your worries. Before bed, a 2011 team study from Baylor University found that writing fall asleep minutes before bed helped people fall asleep significantly faster. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Create what psychologists call the Zeigarnik effect. Your subconscious keeps circling back to incomplete things. Writing them down tells your subconscious, I have captured this. You can stop circling. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. It releases the mental loop and allows deeper sleep. Do this every night. 5 minutes. Write down what is unfinished, what you are worried about, what needs to happen tomorrow. Close the notebook. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Tell your subconscious. Go do your work. Practice 2. Review what you learned that day. Spend 5 minutes before bed mentally reviewing the most important thing you learned or experienced during the day. Satisfy thy mouth with good things, not anxiously. Gently, just replay it in your mind. This primes your subconscious to prioritize consolidating that experience into long-term memory during the night. You are essentially telling it, this is important. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Make sure this one stays. Students who do this before sleeping consistently show better retention than students who review the same material at other times of day. Satisfy thy mouth for your sleeps. Sounds simple, but the research behind it is remarkable. Before you close your eyes, set a clear intention. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. It can be a question you want your subconscious on while you sleep. It can be a problem you want solved. It can simply be a statement of who you want to wake up as tomorrow. Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla. Satisfy thy mouth with good things, and Salvador Dali all used versions of this practice. They gave their subconscious a specific creative assignment before sleeping and trusted it to work on the problem overnight. Satisfy what you feed it before you sleep. Feed it something works and intentional. Practice 4. Guard the final 20 minutes. No social media, no news, no conflict-laden content, no doom scrolling. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. As you enter the hypnagogic state, your subconscious is wide open. Everything you feed it in this window gets programmed deeply. Fill that window with something that serves you. A meaningful book, gratitude journaling, gentle music, a conversation with someone you love. Silence, guard this window like it is the most important 20 minutes of your entire day, because neurologically it might be. To satisfy thy mouth with good things. Practice 5. The words running through your mind as you drift off to sleep are being recorded by your subconscious with extraordinary precision. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Most people fall asleep replaying failures, telling themselves they are not good enough, not disciplined enough, not successful enough. And their subconscious records all of it, reinforces it. Satisfy thy mouth with good things, turns it into belief starting tonight. As you feel yourself drifting towards sleep, speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you love completely. Tell yourself what you are proud of today. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Tell yourself you are capable of what you are working toward. Tell yourself you are becoming someone remarkable. Your subconscious believes what you tell it most consistently. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Tell it the truth about who you are becoming, not the lie about who you think you currently are. Let me bring everything together. Satisfy thy mouth with good things every single night. Your subconscious mind is doing 5 extraordinary things. It is consolidating your memories, doing the learning you worked so hard for during the day. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. It is processing your emotions, stripping the pain from difficult experiences. It is solving your problems, making connections your conscious mind is too narrow and too focused to make. Satisfy thy mouth with good things by whatever you feed it in those final moments of consciousness. And it is generating your most creative ideas in the liminal space between sleeping and waking. Your subconscious is not resting. Satisfy thy mouth with good things every single night. The question is, are you giving it what it needs to rebuild you well? Are you protecting your sleep like the extraordinary biological miracle it is? Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Are you guard those final 20 minutes before you close your eyes? Are you setting intentions and asking questions and speaking kindly to yourself as you drift into unconsciousness? Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Because if you are not, you are leaving the most powerful programming window of every single day completely to chance. And in that window, your subconscious will program itself with whatever it happened to receive. Satisfy thy mouth with good things. Your anxieties, your social media arguments, your fears. You have a choice every single night. You have a choice about what you hand to the most powerful processing system in the known universe. Satisfy thy mouth working with. Start tonight. I'll see you in the next one.